No.
Good deals the 1-1. It's going to be a fastball away, and it's not going to get there, and it's going to bring the count to 2-1 to the Flying Eagles second baseman. Henry Good going to drop a breaking ball in for a strike for strike 2 there. It's going to even the count at 2-2 with a runner on first base. Hopefully Henry Good can throw a good pitch and roll a ground ball and get a double play. And Henry Good with a great breaking ball there, and he retires the second batter of the inning and gains out number 1 with a runner on first. Henry Good's first pitch going to be fouled off by the Flying Eagles first baseman. Henry Good's breaking ball going to be good there. Came in on the outer half, and it's going to freeze Eagles first baseman. Eagles have a runner on first. Batter at the plate, 0-2. Strikes out, and Jake Modrak throws him out, and that's going to be a strike him out, throw him out play. Hurricanes are going to get 2. Hurricanes are going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone there, and they're going to get out of the inning pretty easy.
So it's still a sunny later afternoon on a Friday here at Louisburg, and still just a gorgeous day as we're set to bring you the 41st game of the Louisburg College Hurricanes 2025 regular season here on the historic Fraser Field, as Louisburg College is hosting Southwest Virginia Community College, and we're set to give you Game 2 action doubleheader coming to you live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. Good afternoon again, everyone, and welcome back to Hurricanes Baseball on Louisburg Sports Network with Caden Lasley. I'm Bill Martone. The Hurricanes win Game 1 against the West Virginia Community College Flying Eagles, further solidifying their second place position in the D2 West standings. With just 6 games remaining, the Hurricanes, though, came into this afternoon expecting to dominate over the last place Southwest Virginia Flying Eagles. But with some strong pitching and hitting by head coach Stephen McMillan's Flying Eagles, they proved to be a formidable opponent. So are the Hurricanes a real Category 5, or are they starting to slip, or was Game 1 just nearly a dip? Stay tuned to find out right here on the Louisburg Sports Network after the break. Louisburg College Baseball. On the Louisburg Sports Network, being brought to you all season long, in part by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, farms families, community for 40 years. Mangum Insurance Agency with offices in Coates and Dunn. Products and service for every occasion. And Johnny's Barbecue, specializing in Eastern Carolina whole hog barbecue. Back to live action. We've already completed the top of the first inning with a 1-2-3 strike him out, throw him out. And now Nick Labello is going to start off game 2 at the plate for the Hurricanes. And he looks at a first pitch called strike, and the starting pitcher is Peyton Dotson. Dotson was in the outfield, and the wind is picking up, even though the weather is still just gorgeous. Hard hit on the left side through the 6-5 hole. And Nick Labello gets it started early for the Hurricanes.
And now batting, the left fielder, number 42, James Green.
Pick off to first, not in time, and James Green is still at the plate waiting for the second pitch. He has an 0-1 count with no outs, and Nick Labello down on first. Dotson, left-hander. His breaking ball drops in, but a little bit too high for home plate umpire and crew chief Kelly Culp, who's calling the plays and pitches from behind home plate, with Brian Kurdziolik out on the infield. Dotson's next offering to Green, high and away. Dotson with a 14.63 ERA, 16 innings of work, has 13 strikeouts, an opposing batting average of .418. The pitch down the middle is a called strike, and Labello head first, and he'll be able to go to third. As he turns, he's going to come home, and the throw not in time as Labello heads up. Gets what? 270 feet. Quick, check the math on that. 180, 90, 2 something. So Labello now gets across the plate while Green is still at the other side with a 2-2 count. Dotson's fifth pitch bounces off the plate to fill up the count. Beautiful gusts of wind making a little bit of noise, but who cares? The full count to James Green, swung on and fouled off into the backstop. It's just gorgeous outside. And Coach Herring and Coach McMillan, they spent or wasted zero time between game 1 and the start of game 2. I barely got the book done, the graphics done, and missed the opening first pitch. But all is good. Henry Good allowed the first batter to reach, but then he proceeded to strike out the next 2, and on a strike him out, throw him out, concluded the inning in 1-2-3 fashion, at least in the lineup.
Started the game about, 25, 30 minutes early?
Only about 10 minutes ago, if that. As I was clicking live, the first pitch was going off, and James Green with a foul tip into the glove of Harold Heller. Defense for the Eagles, Steele, McInnes, and Roberts across the outfield. Boyd, Garrett, Hall, and Irvin on the infield, with Harold Heller catching for Peyton Dotson. Evan Slewinski runs out of frame on a foul ball. But here's his lower third. Came into today. First time back in the active lineup, and he started game one with a stand-up double. Wasn't so fortunate the rest of the game, but kind of just got right back to work.
Slowinski going to have to fight here. 0-2 count.
Already up to 25 patrons in the live stream. Thanks for rejoining us. If you were watching game one, we're obviously here in game two with game three scheduled for a 1 o'clock Saturday start. And Nat Norris chiming in already. Thanks. I hope you're enjoying Tampa. The weather here is gorgeous. And a breaking ball, drop third strike. Down to first goes Evan Slowinski, but he'll get thrown out on the inside path from Heller to Irvin. So 2 outs, but 1 run has scored. Amazingly, if you missed it, Nick Labella reached on a single, then he proceeded to steal to second, and on a pass ball, got to third, and they were so late picking it up in center field, he reached home. So 270 feet in the blink of an eye by Nick Labello, the right fielder. Kenny Shadle now looks at the first pitch from Peyton Dodson. That one hits the dirt in front of Harold Heller. So 2 outs and a run has scored. And we're only in the bottom of the first inning. Outside portion of the strike zone, says Kelly Culp. And the count now at 1-1. Shadle reattaches the cap of the barrel, tapping it down like it was coming off. And a breaking ball that doesn't quite make its way through the strike zone there, but Heller kept it in front of him. Jace Dunn on deck. And Shadle looks so comfortable over on third in game one. Foul ball to assistant coach Bryce Meyer out of frame. Tried to barehand it. Nice field stencils today, Region 10 NJCAA.
Yeah, I thought those were pretty cool too.
I think those are courtesy of eSports coach Michael Statham. I think. Breaking ball popped up out of play. Heller gives chase but gives up quickly. So, Caden, what did you do between games? Anything?
No, just ate some food, and that's pretty much it. I had some pretty good food there. They had some burgers. They had some hot dogs. And
High
Kenny
fly
just
ball.
hit a home run.
Right center field. Goodbye, baseball.
Santa Maria. Kenny Shadle with a backside blast and a 2-2 count. That's going to bring your Hurricanes up to a 2-0 lead over the Flying Eagles.
Kenny Shadle with his 13th home run of the season. Only 3 ahead of James Green, who caught up to him after he took a quick early season lead on the home run column of the stat sheet. And at one point, Kenny Shadle was 5th in Region 10 for home runs. I don't know if he's still there or not. It was a couple weeks ago.
He is a merchant of the long ball.
Fly ball, shallow right field. Backing up is the second baseman. He gets a glove on it, and that's 3. So Anthony Jones was left on base, and he'll be followed by Jake Modrak and Steven Kreiner in the bottom of the second for the Hurricanes. But right now, coming up, the middle of the order for the Flying Eagles, Damian Boyd, Chris Steele, and Peyton Maines. As mentioned in Game 1, the weather, spectacular. If you're in North Carolina, specifically Louisburg, swing on by and watch. Are there reduced gate prices for Game 2?
Yeah. Don't think so.
Can't Probably get any lower than 0.
Yeah.
Freebie if you want to walk in and watch some great JUCO baseball here at the historic Frazier Field at the far end of West College Street on the campus of Louisburg College. And really, not really a cloud in the sky, not a chance in heaven of rain, and I don't know, 10-mile-an-hour wind maybe at most. And it's just a beautiful day in April as we get toward the back half of the season. And the Hurricanes are in a solid second place while they face off and host the last place Flying Eagles. But, man, you wouldn't have known it in the last game, Game 1, because that was a tight finish, right down to tight almost finish, photo finish for that matter.
With a good ending for sure. That was a great ending. Ended with in a 3-2 ball game with a runner on third.
And talk about the goods. It's Henry Good. He's on the mound right now, towing the slab in Game 2 as the starter. Last weekend, went the distance in 7 innings for the Hurricanes over in Martinsville, Virginia, against the Patrick and Henry Patriots. But right now, he's facing off against the Flying Eagles. And he did a fine job of it to start the game in the top of the first. 3 up, 3 down. Casey Colbreth had, I think, 4 or 5 1-2-3 innings in the 9 full innings that he pitched in Game 1 this afternoon. And the breaking ball to the third baseman, Boyd, just misses.
Pretty good pitch, though, from Henry Good.
And 2 in a row there makes it a 2-1 count on the leadoff batter in the top of the second inning. And a little inside makes it 3-1. Boyd in Game 1 walked, doubled, lined out, and singled. So he went 2 for 4. I think that would be, or 2 for 3. And a called strike there on the next pitch fills up the count by Henry Good. Got the usual suspects in the live stream so far. If you've never chimed in, I think it takes you logging into YouTube under a Gmail account, and then it should make the live stream chat box available to you to drop a note. So if you have a Gmail account, go ahead and sign in to chat and let us know where you're watching from. We're already up to 35 viewers. Appreciate your attendance. A line drive into center field. Steven Kreiner will get to it, and Boyd starts off the inning with a single for the Flying Eagles. Chris Steele now coming up. He's the left fielder in this game. In Game 1, Steele was the DH. He grounded into a double play, singled on a fielder's choice, and then struck out and grounded out. The first pitch to the left-hander, a foul ball. Oddly, the score being kept in Game Changer from the Hurricanes dugout was not reflective of the actual score. Oh, I take that back. It was 3-2. I'm in this inning. My bad.
Yeah, that's right now, actually.
Yep, there we go. I'm thinking of the wrong thing, looking at the right one.
Not sure who's in there doing it, but whoever it is, shout out to you.
Did a good job from the dugout keeping up Game Changer for us. And a breaking ball fouled off, and the count 1-2. Paul and Elise, thank you. Maria Tulloch, and a random list of numbers from John Labello from New York City. Thank you to everybody for letting us know you're out there and enjoying the broadcast. No outs and a runner on first. The 1-2 outside to Chris Steele, the left fielder for the Flying Eagles. No outs, and we're in the top of the second. And the breaking ball backdoors him and gets him looking.
Great pitch from Henry Good there to execute and get the first out of the inning.
Gotta love those window shoppers.
Especially when you're a pitcher.
One away with a runner on first, and Peyton Maines steps in. His first at-bat of the weekend. He's the designated hitter. And his first offering from Henry Good, a fastball that rides up. Not sure if that would be a rise ball. That does not exist in baseball. And the breaking ball drops in, but not to the liking of our crew chief, Kelly Culp.
Probably just missed high. Maybe in a little bit.
The 2-0. Check swing, foul ball. I know the families, parents of the Hurricanes had a griddle out, cooking brats and burgers between games, well, during the first game for that matter. And gosh, it just kept wafting into the broadcast booth. Smells delicious.
This is really good.
And I didn't mean to be rude to Mr. Shadle and somebody else who were trying to offer me food, but I was not going to be able to eat on air.
Yeah.
The 3-1 with one out and a runner on first. Swung on and fouled off right back at us. Got that runner down there on first. That's Boyd, the third baseman. And this is Maines at the plate. He pops it up on the right side, and Jace Dunn at first says, no thanks. It went into the aluminum bleachers. I'm going to say we have over 50 people in the stadium watching, and about a 4-hour drive for the Flying Eagles fans, but they still have some people representing here. And Good and Maines are in a battle. Not really what you want as a pitcher because it's just running up your pitch count. And you're just trying to find that one pitch that'll get them to ground out or fly out or swing and miss.
Full count here.
One out and a runner on first. The payoff pitch. Fly ball into shallow left field. James Green calls off Evan Slowinski. And that's 2 away. So the story of the weekend, going into the weekend that hit the press release, was James Green decommitting. Going to take his luck late in the season for a new offer to play next year at a 4-year school. And the catcher, Harold Heller, checks his swing on a high and in fastball from Henry Good that just misses the strike zone. The 1-0. Low and away. Coach Herring giving some defensive instruction for a potential ground ball on the infield. The breaking ball looked good from up here, but we're elevated, so we can't quite detect if that ball is coming through the strike zone at the magic height or not. The 3-0 gets the outside corner. Good for Henry Good there.
It's a pretty good pitch there. 3-0.
Kept it away.
Kept it away.
But still found the corner. Heller steps back in with a 3-1 count. The pickoff, not in time. You're getting better at that, Caden. Sarah will be proud. Not sure who she was, but she was given a lot of instruction at the beginning of the last game, and a foul ball off the knob by Heller is going to fill up the count 3-2. Who knows? Maybe she's a camera operator for the MLB.
ESPN.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Maybe we could hire her and have her come in and give us some lessons.
Yep.
I'm up for it, learning from anybody who's got more experience than myself. The payoff, ground ball to Colin Cusick. Gets the force at first, 4-3. One hit, one left on, as we're in the middle of two. Roberts, Garrett, and McInnes when the Flying Eagles come back to the plate in the top of the third. But right now, as we move to the bottom of two, it'll be Jones, Modrak, and Kreiner. You're watching Louisburg College baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. With Caden Lasley, I'm Bill Martone. We're bringing you live from behind the backstop, play-by-play action and color commentary just about the entire season of 2025. We'll see what happens in the postseason in a couple weeks, but right now the schedule that remains is somewhere. We're not really sure where. There it is. Right now we're in this game. Game 2 on Friday. We have one tomorrow at 1. And then a road game at Wake Tech at Ting Stadium Wednesday at 3. And then back here at Frazier Field for another 3-game set. 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. Right now, though, we're getting back to live action. Ethan Roberts is not the batter. It's Anthony Jones, the designated hitter for the Hurricanes, and he looks at a first pitch from Peyton Dodson, a called strike. And the off-speed ball dies a little too quick. Dodson deals the 1-1. Low and away.
Pitch just missed, and a great eye from Jones there.
The 2-1 goes up to 3-1. Dodson, an outfielder, pitcher, hits and throws left-handed out of Tellico Plains, Tennessee. I think his father or a relative was in the live stream of the Game 1, checked in with us, and a little bit of a slider away that gets Jones' swing and a miss. The full count. Curveball on the inside, and Jones will unstrap the shin and foot guard as he draws a walk to start off the bottom of the second inning.
And now batting, the catcher, number 14, Jake Modrak.
I think I heard one of you calling Jake the Mo Money Modrak. Was that Graham Wyke?
Yeah, it probably was Graham Wyke.
Sitting in for us the other weekend while both of us were unavailable for the broadcast. He did a great job for 3 games, totally cold turkey, never did it before. I thought he did terrific. I don't know where he gets the Mo Money reputation from, if he's playing cards in the
I don't know. I guess
dorm
it just.
room, or
I guess it just kind of sounds. I guess it just kind of sounds.
no, come on, you got to build a story around this.
Yeah,
You got to say like he's really good at Texas Hold'em or something.
Well, Mo's a retired gambler.
There you go. And Jones with the first stolen base of the season.
Anthony Jones showing off the wheels.
A friend of his checked in the live stream in Game 1 and shared the fact that Anthony was a tight end on the high school football team. So he's putting that football speed to work. He's coming in like a freight train to second. I wouldn't want to have to tag him. Opposite field hit. And Jones is going to try to get to home. And he gets tagged by Heller, sorry. So Jones getting a little bit too aggressive. And he gets picked off as Jake Modrak drops one in the opposite field for a single. Almost an RBI. Kreiner on a bouncer to the shortstop, and he tries to backhand it but can't come up with it cleanly, and that'll be an E6 or an ROE6 for Kreiner as Modrak coasts down into second. Those hard-hit bouncers that just really make it tough for the infield to come up with.
Now back to second baseman number 1, Colin Cusick.
Cusick looks at a first pitch fastball called strike from Peyton Dodson. Hit and run action, fly ball right field. And the right fielder mishandles it. That's Ethan Roberts. And Jake Modrak scores as Kreiner holds at second. I think I have to put that down as ROE 9.
The leadoff is the right fielder, number 39. Hey, Labello.
Nick Labello started the game off with a single and then proceeded to make his way all the way around. Kreiner, does he have the short cleats on? He just blew out his feet stopping so quick, or else we need to get some
Nah, he's got some high tops on, actually.
Does he?
Yeah, he has high tops on, I'm pretty sure.
looked like he almost broke his own ankles turning around to get to second.
Nah, he's just going so fast.
Yeah, he does. He's too fast for the cleats is what it is, and the throw down to third is not going to make it into the glove, and Kreiner will coast into home while Cusick gets 90 feet down to second, so another run scored. This is not the same team that we saw in Game 1. They were dialed in, and ball was just going to all the right places on both sides of the field for the Flying Eagles. They gave the Hurricanes a run for their money. Dodson's pickoff, more of a step off since he didn't throw. 1 ball, 2 balls. Well, I don't know. We got 2 balls on the board in the stadium, but I just saw the umpire put out single fingers like it was a 1-1. Maybe that meant to restart the clock. I don't know. All right, there we go. 3 balls. So I don't know, what does that mean? Like ones in each direction?
Oh, he
Just
stepped off,
charges
so
him
we
with
only
a
had
step off?
Yeah.
Dotson is really focused back there. That's impressive. He found the strike zone. He was looking back at second base for some bit of time. I almost thought he'd get charged with a pitch clock violation. In that case, Labella would have got the free walk down to first.
3-1 count to Nick Labello.
1 out and a runner on first. Hurricanes have put up 2 already this inning. Ronnie Hall at second trying to provide coverage, and Dotson loses Nick Labello to a walk. Second walk of the game for Dotson. James Green back in the box. Yanks that one just past Matt Tulloch's feet, who's in the first base coach's box.
Just a little out front there on that breaking ball.
I was watching his highlight reel that he put up on social media of his home run hits, and he just knows when he hits it out of the park. He just drops the bat and then turns and runs.
He does. He knows.
Cuffed on the left side. Opposite field base hit, and an RBI will be for James Green. That's nice productivity right there. Couldn't have scripted that any better as Colin Cusick scores, and Nick Labello advances 90 feet. Cusick comes in from second, and that was just classic baseball by the left-handed batter. Put it in the opposite field, through the infield, and scores an RBI. The man right there, James Green, down on first, taking a little breather. I don't think he needed it in that 90 feet. I think he's just getting ready to run right up the backside of Nick Labello. But who's quicker, Labello or Green?
Labello.
Is he?
Labello, yeah. Labello's quicker.
It's
the question of whether who's quicker, Kreiner or Labello.
So the outfielders for the Hurricanes are all speed demons. James Green for left field, Steven Kreiner in center, and Nick Labello in right. That's a tough trio, 3 amigos to So a pitching change for the Flying Eagles here in the second inning. Number 2 is Colton Tate. He's at a 12.41 ERA, has 12 1/3 innings of work this season, 7 strikeouts, and an opposing batting average of .372. .5'8" sophomore out of Shady Springs, West Virginia. Has him here as an infielder, doesn't show him as a two-way player, but good for him. He's made 8 appearances, unfortunately received 2 losses on the year. So Dotson faced 11 batters, threw 40 pitches, 25 strikes in an inning and 1/3 of work here in Game 2. Gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts, pardon me. So Slewinski will be the first batter
number 6. Evans.
As Labello's down on second. Slawinski struck out behind James Green in the first inning against Peyton Dodson. And the first offering to Slawinski, a called strike with 1 out and 2 on. High fly ball, left field. Going back is Steele. And that goes off the top of the fence and hits the scoreboard. A second home run here in Game 2 for the Hurricanes as Labello, Green, and Evan Slawinski trot in. So Coach McMillan opts to take Dodson out of the game for Tate and 1 pitch. It's out of the park.
Now back, Kenny Shadle.
Second home run of the game, and we're only in the bottom of the second inning, but the first pitch to Kenny Shadle, a called strike. 43 people. Jana Schneider from Dunn, North Carolina, thanks for checking in. And RN, not clear what you're talking about. I think your handle looks familiar. Shadle with a home run in Game 1. I'm sorry, a home run in the first inning. I knew I had flashes of him just hitting a home run, but he strikes out. So 2 outs as we get to the end of the order, meaning that Anthony Jones is on deck and he started the inning. And Dunn now with 2 outs. Singles hard. Well, a hard ground ball that's bobbled by the shortstop, Wyatt Garrett. So he'll get an ROE 5 on the book, ROE 6 rather, as he reaches. And we have to extend in the scorebook.
Now back, the designated hitter number 10, Anthony Jones.
Jones walked to start off this inning, and then he eventually got picked off at home or thrown out, trying to trying to extend on a hit. Pickoff not in time, but Caden Lasley is getting good on the foot pedal. Colton Tate looking to get some work done. He's got a 2-0 count with 2 outs and a runner on first. And he plunks Anthony Jones in his second trip to the plate for the day.
Now back, number 14, the catcher, Jake Modrick.
A little comedic relief by our stadium PA announcer, Ricky Cook, keeping it real. Sounded like a Yankee in the South. An 0-1 count right now on Jake Modrak with runners on first and second. So for those of you who are watching remotely right now or watching on the broadcast, if you can pick it up, the pitcher Colton Tate, he's got a bit of a short arm action. Real quick snap delivery. Not necessarily saying it's good or bad, it's just different. It's very fast. And he misses high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
It's a good take from Jake Modrak there. And an 0-2 count.
It's an aggressive delivery style.
It's another good take from Jake Modrak there.
2-2, 2 out, 2 on. Second inning. Are there any other 2s that we can claim?
Elijah Monsanto, he wears number 2.
Score is 0-8 in favor of the Hurricanes. And Tate goes low and away to fill up the count. Stephen Kreiner on deck. Jake Modrak steps back in on a full count. He singled and eventually scored earlier this inning. The payoff? Hit into center field. It's going to get down, and that'll be at least 1 run scored as Jace Dunn touches home plate after a 180-foot sprint.
Infielder number 4, Stephen Kreiner.
So Jake Modrak with back-to-back base hits in the same inning. Stephen Kreiner reached on an E6 earlier this same inning. He watches a first pitch offering from Colton Tate. Earlier in the inning, he was batting against Peyton Dotson. Popped up right side. Second baseman Ronnie Hall calls for it and almost has to go down to a knee, but he comes up with it. A long inning with quite a few runs scored on behalf of the Hurricanes. 7 to be exact if you are keeping track. 8 hits, 9 runs total after 2. And when the Hurricanes come back up, Colin Cusick, Nick Lobello, and James Green. Starting pitcher, Henry Good, just stepped out of frame after we got that all squared up, but he's looking to do it again today, folks. Went 7 innings on last weekend's performance. And Good starts off the 3rd inning with a called strike against Ethan Roberts.
And a double play there to Kenny Shadle, to Colin Cusick, to Jace Dunn over there at first. And Henry Good's going to have himself 2 easy outs there. And a ground ball to Kenny Shadle, and he's going to throw it over to Jace Dunn for the 3rd out of the inning. And Henry Good's going to get out of it with very little pitches thrown.
Colin Cusick coming up for the Hurricanes after another 1-2-3 inning in the 3rd for Henry Good and the Hurricanes. A double play followed by a 5-3 from Shadle to Dunn. You're watching Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. Caden Lasley, myself, Bill Martone. We're bringing you play-by-play and color commentary from behind the backstop. Jackson Bottoms and Ricky Cook holding down the fort on the other side of the booth from us, making every production a reality. Cusick reached on an E9 in the 2nd, eventually scored. And hard hit into left center field. And he's going to round first and take a hard look at second, but retreats. So a leadoff single by the second baseman. He got
the leadoff and right fielder number 39.
Cusick got nipped on the back of the head last weekend. A hit by pitch situation just under the back of his helmet. Ended up with a concussion for at least that portion of the game. And so he kind of sat out for game 3 and the midweek. But thankfully he's okay and he's back and obviously unaffected. Nick Labello steps in. He has singled and walked so far in the game. The breaking ball does not give Heller an opportunity to throw on Cusick, who advances 90 feet. Tate at 21 pitches comes set and deals the 2-0. Labello liked it, but got ahead of it and hacks it foul. Probably could have, had he been just a little bit later on that, he probably could have bounced it over the third baseman, Damian Boyd's head. That infield seems to be really firm, and hard hit ground balls like kind of hack down. They bounce like a trampoline.
Yeah, bounce a good ways.
Low and away. forces Heller to block. 3-1. 46 at this point in the live stream. Man, we had more on the midweek.
Yeah, we did. We had like 100, or we were up to 75 at one point, I remember.
Yeah, it was hovering in the 80s, jumped over 100, came back. Hard hit, high in the air, left center. Oncoming is Steele and McInnes, and McInnes comes up with it. Calls off Steele. One out and a runner on second. James Green struck out and singled. But he's going to have to wait for another pitching change to take place as Coach Stephen McMillan opts to go to the bullpen, which I think is kind of par for the course for this team. They don't have a lot of quality pitching, but they seem to have a lot of arms. And when the runs start piling up and the hits start accumulating, Coach McMillan doesn't hesitate to keep his pitching staff on a short string. John Rule with a 20.25 ERA, 10 2/3 innings of work, has 7 strikeouts, an opposing batting average of .532. Coming out of Lynchburg, Virginia at 5'11". He looks a lot taller than that. Kind of wondering if we have a uniform on a player different than what is on the roster. But maybe my eyes deceive me. He's looking like at least a 6-footer to me, but 5'11", 5'12", tomato, I guess.
It's all the same thing.
Trying to stay away from the copyrights, picking up the stadium music, but we got to let Mr. Rule get warmed up as James Green is still sitting in the on-deck circle. We should have like some trivia things set up for these moments, right?
Moments, yep. Be a good idea.
I used to do that for the high school games because we'd get some lulls of a lot of pitching changes, things like that. But it takes a lot of work, actually, on the back end. All right, here we go. Mr. Green. Mr. Green stepping in now for the third time. Strikeout and was a foul tip and a single and eventually scored. Rule's fastball zips inside past the belt buckle of James Green. And Colin Cusick hustles down 90 feet for another stolen base. And he sets himself up for an RBI, which is exactly what Green did in his last at-bat, opposite field through the infield. The 1-0 from Rule. Popped up. And Heller is going to run out of room before it comes out of the skies. Green checks his swing on a fastball that was just a little bit up. I thought he was going to let loose on that one.
It's a good take from James Green there, but I did as well.
The 2-1 to Green almost hits him as it slips just in front of his thighs. Boy, with a little bit of command, Rule has got a pretty good fastball. I don't know if it moves much. The 3-1, swung on, curling, drops into shallow center field, and Cusick rather, touches home and gives Green another RBI for this game. So 2 singles now in the book for James Green this game. Slewinski stepping in again. He had the dinger, 3-run homer in his last at-bat. Put Labello and Green across the plate. Takes a called strike. He too returned as Colin Cusick did today after a few games absence, getting his arm right. Pickoff, not in time. We need to get Caden a little hand clicker instead of a foot clicker. Nice breeze, a little loud on the mic, but it's comfortable. Hard hit left field, it's going to be just foul. Cusick seems like he is rested and ready to roll. Been getting the barrel on the ball, seeing it real well. And for the velo that Rule is throwing, Slewinski rather, got ahead of it and pulled that one foul down the left field line. 1 out, runner on first, bottom of the third, and an 0-2 count to Evan Slewinski, and he pops it up on the right side. And the second baseman, Ronnie Hall, comes up with it to make it 2 outs as Kenny Shadle is about to step in.
The third baseman, number 30, Kenny Shadle.
Shadle with a home run and a strikeout in this game. And that one isn't going to go out of the park, but the right fielder trips. Ethan Roberts, he can't come up with it, and Shadle will coast in. James Green makes it into home. And we missed it all on the cameras, Caden. Between you and me, we both missed all of it as Shadle reaches on an ROE 9.
Now back, the first baseman, number 32.
Yeah, we had everything going except what was going out to the audience, so apologies. Bunch of noobs. We are. Oh, well, I didn't want to work at ESPN anyway. Chase Dunn reached on an E6 in his first at-bat in the second inning. Smells like the griddle is fired up again.
Hope so.
Must be reheating the leftovers from the intermission. Shadle holds tight as Heller keeps it out in front of him. The 1-1 from Rule. Swung on and done just a little bit ahead of it. Doing God's work, saving the flies from getting stuck in the broadcast booth. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs to Jace Dunn. And a foul ball. John Rule is the 3rd pitcher for the Flying Eagles. Peyton Dodson started off the game, followed by Colton Tate. And now John Rule. 11-0 as we're in the bottom of the 3rd. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. That's Kenny Shadle. And it gets away from Heller. Shadle's going to advance 90 feet and set up Jace Dunn for an RBI opportunity. Dunn reached in his last at-bat on an error by the shortstop Wyatt Garrett. That sounded funny coming off the bat.
It did.
Two and 2 with a runner on third. Off speed knuckleball. Have to give John Rule the strikeout sound effect for that one. That was a sneaky little pitch that he put out there. Looked like a curved knuckle. Came in all funky looking and just dropped in. I don't know if it really was a knuckle or not, but it was dancing.
It did look a little funky.
Funky Cole Medina, so Dunn down looking. Leaves a runner on, but not after 2 runs score. Colin Cusick and James Green. When the Hurricanes come back to the plate in the 4th inning, it'll be Anthony Jones, Jake Modrak, and Steven Kreiner. While the Flying Eagles are going to bring up Ronnie Hall, Graham Irvin, and Damian Boyd. Henry Good and the Hurricanes looking to get to the 5th inning quick as they have a sizable 11-run lead in the top of the 4th. Coming up to the plate is Ronnie Hall, the second baseman. He pops up the first pitch out of play on the left side. Kenny Shadle was well out of frame on all of our cameras, so you didn't miss anything. Except the fact that Ronnie Hall swung at the first pitch and an FO5 for the first out goes in the book. Graham Irvin, he swings at the first pitch. 1 hop to the shortstop and a 6-3. 2 pitches, 2 outs. So an immaculate inning is 9 pitches.
3 strikeouts, 3 pitches.
3 pitches, 3 outs would be what?
3 pitches, 3 outs. No,
It's got to be more than an immaculate. Something else, right?
It's got to be like a perfect inning.
Sorry, Henry Good. We might have just jinxed him. He threw the first pitch to the third batter, Damian Boyd, the third baseman. He singled in his first at-bat in the second. He is a big young man for a third baseman. Looks like a tight end. Hard hit, and he rips that one down into left field. James Green chasing after it into foul territory in the corner. And Damian Boyd put the barrel on that one hard into left field. With 2 outs, he smacks a double. Chris Steele, left fielder, got caught window shopping in his last at-bat. $51 people in the live stream. Thank you to all of you who have checked in already in the chat. If you haven't and you can, let us know where you're watching from. We're bringing you Game 2 of a doubleheader today, followed by a third rubber match game tomorrow. All of them coming to you right here on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. NJCAA Region 10 Baseball. Hard hit, and it looks like it'll drop in front of Steven Kreiner. On one hop, he gets that throw into Jake Modrak as Henry Good backs him up. And the leadoff, Damian Boyd, advances down to third and holds on a long single from Chris Steele with 2 outs. And that makes way for Peyton Maines, the designated hitter. He flied out to James Green as the second out in the second inning. The first offering, a breaking ball that finds the strike zone. Again, our crew chief and home plate umpire is Kelly Culp, while our field umpire is Brian Kordziolik. Hard hit, bouncer on the right side. It's going to get caught by Colin Cusick to Jace Dunn. And a 4-3 is a spectacular end that gets Henry Good and the Hurricanes out of runners on trouble in a scoring position. Pretty nifty by Colin Cusick, if I must say so. Well, I have to. He owes that. He deserves that credit. Deep into the hole, going toward first base. Backhands it. Gets it to his first baseman, Jace Dunn, for the third out, leaving 2 runners stranded as we go to the middle of 4 with the Hurricanes bringing up Anthony Jones, Jake Modrak, and Steven Kreiner. Back to live action here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina, home to the Louisburg College Hurricanes as they face off against the West Virginia Community College Flying Eagles and another E6. Wyatt Garrett allows the runner to reach.
Now back, the catcher number 14, Jake Modrack.
Anthony Jones beats out the throw. Jake Modrack steps in. Singled twice. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning, and if the Hurricanes continue to lead by 10 or more runs after 5, ixnay for the game. It's over. And they already won game 1. That one hard hit into left field, drops down in front of Chris Steele. He gets it in quick, but not before Anthony Jones advances down to second, and Jake Modrack cruises into first. Steven Kreiner now.
The center fielder number 4, Steven Kreiner.
Kreiner reached on an error by the shortstop, and he flied out to the second baseman. He's got the open stance to start, and he watches the fastball from John Rule come in, up, and stay up. He's got good velo, the right-hander. Just needs better location. The 1-0. And a little bit of a matrix move by Steven Kreiner, bending over backwards to stay out of the way, but doesn't lose his balance. Jones on second, Modrack on first. Kreiner at the plate with a 2-0 count, and John Rule deals. A breaking ball drops in. Good execution. Freezes Kreiner up. 2-1. The 2-1 almost hits Kreiner. Kreiner is 1 for 2. Popped it up on the right side, out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, I had him down as an ROE 9 because the right fielder, Ethan Roberts, I thought touched the ball as it came down out of the sky back in the second inning, but at least in the dugout, they're scoring that as a base hit. So Kreiner reaches up and smacks it down to the shortstop. He smothers it and goes to third, but the runner was on the bag as the throw from Wyatt Garrett hit Jones in the caboose. How else do you say that in a G-rated?
I guess that's the G-rated way to say it there. Colin Cusick going to come up with the bases juiced.
Kreiner reaches on a fielder's choice, and Anthony Jones scoots into third with Jake Modrack at second. And the bases loaded, no outs. Cusick slashes at the first pitch. It pops up high on the right side. Graham Irvin can't come up with it. 12. I don't think that's Irvin. That's John Paul Eads for Irvin. We are not receiving the updates of defensive changes. And the 0-1 swung on, hard hit to short. And they get the force at first. Or was that a double play? I think that was a double play.
Double play, yep.
Now batting the leadoff and right fielder number 39.
6-4-3 for 2 outs. Brings up Lobello after Anthony Jones scored and Jake Modrak now down at third. There's a bunch of infield defensive changes at third, short, and first. And Lobello looks at a first pitch called strike by the right-handed hard-throwing John Rule. 2 out and a runner on third. Hurricanes have 12 on the board. Caught in the dugout by the coach, barehanded, old school. Nobody cares. I thought that was pretty impressive. Whoop-dee.
I didn't see it.
Kids, bunch of screenagers. Lobello flies one high in the opposite direction. And the right fielder, Ethan Roberts, gives chase, but he's going to run out of time. He was on a horse going after that. He thought he had a chance at it. 49 people. Decent audience on Game 2, a doubleheader on a Friday. The 0-2, and Lobello is just spraying all over in foul territory. Clearly looking to connect with 2 outs and a runner on third. Lobello is 1 for 2. Singled, walked, and a fly out to the center fielder. And we're still on an 0-2 count. Chopped down hard to the shortstop, and he fumbles it. And an ROE 6 for Lobello. As Jake Modrak crosses the plate, and that makes it 12-13.
The left fielder number 42, James Green.
James Green steps in again, 2 for 3. And that one just a bit outside by Rule. Looked like it almost just slid out of his hand totally. Lobello down on first. And Green at the plate with a 1-0 count. And he holds off on the high fastball by Rule. Well, at this rate, I might make it home for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Double header, and
About 5 o'clock.
we're an hour and 25 minutes here into the second game of a 2-game doubleheader. Jacqueline Marlette, one of our usual supporters, thank you as always for chiming in and tuning in. Runner on first, 2 outs, and James Green lets the 3-0 go. Wow, that was a called strike. Home plate umpire Kelly Culp making it interesting. Go figure.
Maybe give James Green another pitch to swing at here.
He certainly did. And now with a 3-1, and that one will be the walk. Well, that'll do it for John Rule, as we'll have yet another pitching change. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Hurricanes up by 13 on 12 hits, while the Flying Eagles sitting in the basement with 5 hits and 6 errors. Not the kind of numbers you want on the box score. Looks like it's going to be Harrison Felger with an 18.9 ERA on 6 2/3 innings of work with a 680 opposing batting average. Felger is a catcher-pitcher, freshman, 5'8", out of Ackworth, Georgia. There's the young man, the right-hander right there. See if he has any better luck against the Hurricanes. Coming in behind John Rule. Rule had some good velo, but just having a hard time with locating his pitches and commanding the strike zone. Felger has had 2 game starts. He's made 5 appearances. And he has 3 strikeouts to his record. And it's yet another plate visit for Evan Slewinski. After James Green walked on the last pitch from John Rule, Evan Slewinski now steps in against Harrison Felger. Felger deals a breaking ball that gets sheared away foul by Slewinski. Slewinski with a strikeout, a home run, and a pop-out to the second baseman. He is 1 for 3. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth inning, 2 out and 2 on. And just a slight lopsided battle, 13-0. Felger deals the breaking ball in the air to left field, and 1 bounce to the fence. That'll be at least an RBI. Green is going to come around third, and he will score, even though the throw into home is made. So a 2 RBI double for Evan Slewinski, a very productive return to the lineup by the shortstop. Green all the way from first, and Labello from second. And Kenny Shadle, he's coming in. He hit a home run in the first inning. That thing did not stay in the park for very long. It was his 13th of the season. Yeah, I don't get the feel from Shadle that he's trying to hit home runs. He just has the power, and it happens. 2 out and a runner on second. The 0-1 count to Kenny Shadle. And Felger, you can see him. He really has that over-the-top breaking ball that he throws. Trying to give some English on it. You can see his index finger and middle finger over the top when he throws. Well, not there, but when he does throw it, you might be able to pick it up if you're watching on a large screen TV. There it is right there, and it gets away from him as it just gets a little bit close to the chin guard of Kenny Shadle. He's been plunked too many times this year. Last weekend out in Martinsville, he took one in the helmet. Annoyed by it, as everybody should be. It's not intentional. And that ball in the air to left field. On the run is Chris Steele. He comes in and he can't come up with it. And Shadle reaches second on an error by the left fielder. And a run will score. Slawinski from second. Kind of a routine fly ball for the left fielder. I mean, we do have some sun to contend with, but you should have a pair of shades on if you're in the outfield, right? Part of everybody's bag.
He should. I don't know if he does, but pretty routine.
16-0, bottom of the fourth. We have to complete 5 to make it even a mercy rule. As they say in show business, though, anything is possible. So don't go anywhere, folks. Jace Dunn is the last batter before we get back to where we started this inning. Anthony Jones on deck. He started off the inning reaching on an error by the shortstop. The 2-1. Swung on, hard hit to the third baseman. Makes the throw, and it gets past the first baseman. Kind of a routine throw by a third baseman. Gets away from him, and a run scores. It goes out of play into the turtle, and that affords Jace Dunn to reach second. So a free base there. Kind of makes you wonder why there's not. I mean, it's always to the advantage, right? But kind of put up a fence out there, so it just takes that issue out of. Or park the turtle in the bullpen so it faces the pitcher's mound, right? I don't know. I'm probably not being a homer by criticizing its location. I know it works to the advantage, but like, you know,
I think we probably could put it somewhere behind the bullpen.
Jones takes a hard hack and it comes down. I'm not sure if it hit one of the parents or not, but it ricocheted and bounced around in the gallery of patrons. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Felger is on the mound. Fly ball, right field. On the run is Ethan Roberts. And he puts an end to the bleeding.
Pretty good catch. Right field, that was smoked off of the bat of Anthony Jones.
Line drive into the green space. And presumably that was Ethan Roberts on a run. Comes up with it. 10 batters go to the plate in the 4th inning for the Hurricanes. And the Hurricanes now with a 17-run lead. God forbid, but should the Hurricanes come to the plate in the 5th, it would be Jake Modrak, Steven Kreiner, and Colin Cusick. My expectation, not forecasting, but going to anticipate with a 17-run lead, we are not going to see this game go beyond 4.5, technically 5 innings. So with that, we're at least going to start off with Harold Heller, Ethan Roberts, and the shortstop, whoever is substituted in for Wyatt Garrett, who started. Familiar face out of the bullpen earlier this season is Cody Mahaffey. Haven't seen Mr. Mahaffey in a few games. He's had 3 appearances early on. He's going to get some work here this afternoon as we go into the top of the 5th inning. First pitch to Harold Heller from Mahaffey, just missing. Two balls, no strikes on the first batter. Heller grounded out to Colin Cusick, and down the middle brings the count to 2-1. Ground ball, left side, Shadle across to Dunn. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Louisburg College baseball team may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, while the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Louisburg College baseball. Swing and a miss to the second batter, Ethan Roberts. One ball, one strike, one out. Cody Mahaffey on the bump, towing the slab as a reliever behind Henry Good. And the fastball on the inside gets Roberts to swing. Roberts was that right fielder who grabbed Anthony Jones's roped line drive out of the air. Mahaffey rocks, kicks, and deals, and he hits him. So Roberts will get to first on an HBP. The size of Mahaffey, I would just think it would hurt more. You're in the box and you see a guy throwing the ball at you like that.
Yeah, he throws a heavy ball. It's
God. I think I would just be like,
throws
no.
smoke.
Yeah. It's like, please don't hit me.
Definitely not going to charge a mound on him.
No. One out. Fly ball left field. James Green coming in. He's going to let it drop in. Well played. No need to put yourself at risk at this point. So Roberts to second. Garrett reaches. Well, it wasn't Garrett, actually. It was McLaughlin. Savini, I think is the pronunciation, or I'm butchering it, at the top of the lineup for McInnes. One out and runners on first and second. The first pitch from Cody Mahaffey, a called strike. Mahaffey, a sophomore. Out of Burlington, North Carolina. I don't know what the Burlington school is, presumably maybe private. was where he graduated from.
It is.
Tipping the scales at 255 on the roster. And he gets that outside corner. And the count now in his favor. 1-2 with 1 out and 2 on. The 1-2. Heater down the middle on the hands. Gets fouled off. Between the velo and the physical appearance, I would just not be happy to be in that batter's box. He's at the front of the batter's box too, this Savini. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Down the middle, swing and a miss. Cody Mahaffey gets the K in the book. And Ronnie Hall should be the next batter. He's the second baseman. Hall is out of Jonesboro, Tennessee. Right-handed freshman at 5'7". He's been covering a lot of ground from second base, and a line drive over the glove of a jumping Colin Cusick. That'll be an RBI single. And the Flying Eagles get on the board in the top of the 5th on a single to right field. But, man, Colin Cusick was just a smidge away from catching that.
Almost had it, yeah.
Like a snow cone catch. Coach Herring's going to come out, and looks like he'll call to the bullpen and relieve Cody, even though he's kind of doing a nice job here this afternoon. But with now a 16-run lead, I think Coach Herring wants to give some of the arms in the bullpen a little opportunity. Cody getting handshakes from his teammates as he's coming in. He hadn't pitched in a while, so it was nice to see him back on the bump in a game.
It was nice to see Cody Mahaffey on the bump.
He's actually, kind of talking him up like he's this big, intimidating character, but he is just the opposite. To talk with him in person, soft-spoken, very politeful,
yeah.
Just a super nice guy.
Really good guy.
Yeah, definitely someone you want to be friends with. He's just so good. And here is Maddox Cabbage. Haven't seen him in a little bit. In a hot minute. Getting some chants and some music, getting Maddox Cabbage pumped up as he makes his return to the mound. Cabbage with a 5.40 ERA, put up 11 2/3 innings of work this season and a 214 opposing batting average. Good to see this young man back toeing the slab. Litany of injuries throughout the season have sidelined some of the players, and it's nice as we start to approach the back end to see these young men coming back into action. Cabbage just has that gritty look to him. His delivery just slings it in there. Our stadium DJ, Ricky Cook, getting the opposition pumped up. They're loving the music. See Maddox Cabbage, he's looking stoked out there too. All right, stepping into the box, John Paul Eads. That sounds like a name out of the history books. Eads is the first baseman here in the second half of the second game. Cabbage deals, sidearm delivery. Gets a little bit outside on Eads. 2 out, 2 on, 1 ball, no strikes, and a 16-run lead in the top of the 5th. Cabbage deals down the outside portion of the strike zone for a called strike, 1-1. 48 people in the live stream. Thanks again for following along this afternoon in a doubleheader on a Friday. It's been a real blast to bring you Hurricanes baseball. The 1-1, and Eads just looks at it. Cabbage got to feel good to get back to work after a few weeks off. Back where you feel like you belong, right? Toeing the slab at Frazier Field on the beautiful campus of Louisburg College. The 1-2, and just misses. Somebody got a little ahead of themselves playing the strikeout sound. A 2-2 count with 2 out, 2 on. 2s are wild for Maddox Cabbage. Outside edge, gets him looking. And that puts a bow on it, ladies and gentlemen. As the Hurricanes pick up game 2 of a doubleheader, they'll be back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock, live from behind the backstop on Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. For the production crew of Jackson Bottoms, Ricky Cook, Caden Lasley, and myself, Bill Martone, saying thank you on behalf of all of Louisburg Hurricane Baseball. Coach Herring and the assistant coaches, I'm Bill Martone. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.